Que lo que, mi gente, was good, Organic Fanatics, was good, Nick Nation, was good, Nick fans. We got a game today. Today is Tuesday, November 12th. We got a first game of a back to back. Today is an away game against the Philadelphia 76ers. And then we got a back to back, so a home game against Chicago Bulls. Now, we've taken three straight L's away on the road, so we've lost to a couple of teams, as you guys know. We only beat Milwaukee. We lost to Atlanta. We lost to Indiana, as you guys know. You guys went in an uproar rage. So, in each one of our last 6 out of 7 games, or 7 games even straight, our starting five has scored double doubles. Yes, that's great, but that's only happening due to us being depleted. We spoke about it in the last video. These next 2 games are going to be pretty important to see if we get our mojo back. Can we find a rotation? Maybe we can find a way to include some of the rookies that some of you people want, maybe for a couple of more minutes. Can they withstand to give us, extra couple of minutes for Jalen Brunson to rest, for Cat to rest, and some of the other players. I want to talk about different rotations what I think can help, but we'll see about that. Um, Today we play the 76ers at 76ers. It's not far from the crib, so it's not something that we're going to be too exhausted or traveling or late flights or nothing like that. It's about 3 hours from New York. 76ers have lost pretty much every game. They've only won two. The two that they've won, one was recent. Other than that, they've been on a spiral downhill. Embid hasn't played for quite a bit of games. He's on a suspension. I believe he comes back today. Don't be surprised, in Knicks, everybody's fresh and ready. Everybody comes back from suspensions and injuries against us. So I believe Embiid does come back today. He'll probably play, so it's obviously going to be something challenging. Him and Cat do have a history. Cat's in a new city, looking to, put his mark on there. He probably knows about Embiid and how dirty Embiid was last year. He knows the beef that we had last year with Philly. This is a nemesis, a opponent for us. So this is one of those games that Knicks fans aren't going to be happy if we lose. So this is a game that we definitely want to put our all into. That's why you saw a lot of big upset about Indiana. When it's a rival, we don't care if we lose other games, but when it's a rival, I can understand the passion, whether it's Indiana, whether it's the Heat, whether it's 76ers, whether it's Atlanta Hawks, only because it's Trey Young talking that ish. There's certain games that we don't like losing as Knicks fans, and those are some of them. So I can understand the passion and frustration, but we still got to tailor it in. What's getting you guys upset? If you're upset, frustrated, calling for change, it's only because your expectations were extremely higher than the team. And yes, we're fighting for a chip, but through that and all the new players that we have, the rookies we have, it's a learning curve. We said at least 20 games. I'm not even looking at it till after December before we even start looking and breaking down analysis before a trade deadline or something. None of the players that we really counted on or were counting on, i.e., Precious, Achua, and then Cam, started developing pretty good. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I had a sneeze. Precious being into the game and Cam, those really did hurt us. We were counting on them. Cam started playing really well at the end. Shamit going down. Those are three players that we had high hopes and high expectations for. They're out. But again, that opens opportunity to other players. You're seeing Jericho Sims get some minutes. Whatever you guys say to or from for Jericho, he's getting his opportunity. He's getting minutes to learn. He's looking at different rotations. He's getting to implement defensive schemes. So it's good for him to learn. Uh, and then you're looking at Kolek. Kolek's gotten some burn again. The only reason we were saying that he's probably not going to get as much time unless we have injuries, and we are decimated. So this is opportunity for Kolek to get some burn, which he has. Defensively, he's getting burned. Offensively, he looks good. The 3-point shot looks really good. He looks poised under pressure. He just has the speed of the game is a little bit different for him. The different schemes from each team is a lot different than college, so he's having to adjust to that. And it's a learning curve. It's fine. I don't put any pressure too much on him as far as him getting burned. It's so you're gonna learn, but unfortunately, that's gonna cost whether he's gonna get pulled, a shorter leash, and having to force starters to play longer minutes, which you've seen. That's why they played a lot longer minutes. All that to say, in this game, Cam could be back. Cam has been out. I don't even really know the extent of his injury. It's possibly he comes back, but I'm not counting on him. If he comes in and plays today, great. If he doesn't, I'm looking for some adjustment. These two games are games that Tibbs can try and tinker. I look to him. He's not going to let something go for too long before he tries something. I know you guys are trying to call and want one of these other players to go in. I'm looking for him to possibly rest Brunson and Cat a little bit more. They played high minutes. Brunson's trying to get into a rhythm. This is a game where he's going to try to get into a rhythm, go at it with Maxey. If he has it going by the second quarter, I see Tibbs letting him run quite a bit. But I'm looking for Tibbs to match up. So if Embiid's not playing, you got Drummond playing center. His post present is dominant in the paint, so it's going to be interesting. He's going to be fighting for rebounds. Can Josh out rebound him? Can Precious, can Sims keep him out of the box if he's playing minutes with Drummond there? How does Sims play against a bigger center? This is going to be interesting to see how Sims play. Also, can Cat keep Drummond out the paint? Can Cat get it going early and light up Drummond because he's too quick for Drummond because his scoring is too big for Drummond? Does that open up the paint for Bridges and OG, which I believe it can? So today's going to be interesting to see that stretch five go to work if Drummond is starting or even if it's Embiid. Do they spread the paint? Can they stop the drive? Can they start the slashing? I'm looking for tips to make some adjustments for McCall to somehow get him a little more involved. Also, with the rest that I was talking about for Jalen Brunson and Cat, I'm looking for tips to leave Bridges out there. And again, I was talking about the rookies. All that segue into I think Tibbs can possibly the Bridges out there. Maybe give Bridges 40 extended minutes. I know he's playing a lot of extended minutes, but to get into some kind of offensive rhythm, have him as the main guy out there where Cat and Brunson are not getting as many touches, where it's mostly going through Bridges. Put Kolek out there to facilitate to everyone else, and then to defer to Bridges, and then maybe Pascal Daddy to get a couple of minutes. I'm not saying he's going to be out there. I'm not saying for him to get tons of minutes, but this is a team whether it's Kelly Aubrey or some of the other players that they have that it'll give him a look for players around his size to see if he can defend, use his wingspan. I think he can help. His height can help us. We've usually been pretty small to see if he gets 2 3 minutes, nothing too crazy, but just a couple of minutes out there to see if maybe him stretching the floor, him slashing, can get some foul trouble for the other players. Maybe give a couple of minutes to OG when Daddy is out there. Give him a couple of maybe 2 or 3 minutes of rest, where that way Daddy Bridges, Kolek, Sims possibly for the rebounds and dunks, or Hook Porty. I'm not anticipating these. This is something that if we have a good run and we start beating them quite a bit, you may see that rotation tinkered with, or if this is the beginning of a back to back. So hopefully we get off early and then we can implement these changes I'm talking about where we can get into a run because we're going to have to preserve the starters at some point. So you're going to have to see some of that in today's game, whether we start off quick and start beating them by a lot early and then, play a couple of minutes for the younger players so they can get sunburn to, give a break to the starters because it's going to be interesting to see this back to back. So these next two games are going to be interesting to see what adjustments are made, if any. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for Bridges between today to play well, and then we have that back to back at home against Chicago. Chicago is a little more formidable. Chicago has won against Milwaukee. They've won against Minnesota. They've won a couple of big games against big teams. So they got everybody playing right there. Vujacic versus Cat's going to be interesting. You got Pat Williams. Is it Pat Williams? Pat Williams. He's back, so he's a long wing defender who I liked if we could have snatched him from Chicago, but they gave him 90 mil. So him and OG are going to be kind of a wash. Then you got Levine and Bridges. That's going to be interesting. So I think Chicago's going to be a little more formidable, that they got a little more talent all available. So that's different than Embiid not playing and different things, and Paul George out and different things for Philadelphia, why Philadelphia is losing. So I see us with a better chance against Philly where we can possibly run up the score early and get the vets to rest, and we can stay consistent, have all the starters play aggressive, be in their A game, and then let the youngins with at least a 10-point lead or more to give them a break, give them a couple of minutes burn, and let them learn a little bit there. Maxi's been on a tear, so Maxi's been averaging 27. He's going to be their only source of, for the most part, of points. So the goal is going to be containing Maxi, and we'll see about Chicago. It's going to be interesting. So we're giving you this. We'll talk more about it on Friday, but back to back today and tomorrow, midday, one at home, one away. It's going to be kind of interesting. So we've lost the last three away. This is going to be an away game at Philly. This is a rival. They might have Embiid, so it's going to be depending on what they have. Whether Embiid's going to be on there, we know Paul George ain't going to be there, so it's a good. If Embiid's not there, it's a good chance. We're in the NBA. This the league, as Raw would say, but anybody can play anybody. We got to take these teams and these next couple of games serious, and everybody's got to be involved. We got to be 100% focused. I'm not counting on Precious, not counting on Cam or none of them coming back. If they do, great. But this team, these rotations, this is going to be pivotal for us to figure it out for now and even in the late season. This is an opportunity for the rookies. Even if you get 2 minutes, Kolek got 2 minutes, make those 2 minutes mean something. Maybe in the 2 minutes with Kolek, he implements, I think Daddy can get a couple of minutes with him and Bridges would be good. So that'll be something that, and give Bridges a little more confidence. He's playing a little hesitant, he's deferring. I know people are talking about we gave 7 picks up for him, whatever. Relax. We don't have Mitch or other things on there, but give him something to get some confidence in. So I think he needs to play. He needs to be the player that plays with the rookies. I know a lot of times Tibbs have got put OG there where OG's playing. I think it has to be where he's on the floor with other players that isn't Brunson and Cat or even Josh, where he's running the ball, because the other three are going to get the rock before him, and he's having a little difficult time adjusting to that. He's deferring where he should be for sure the third guy, but it's a little difficult when you got Josh Hart there pushing the ball, pushing up the paint. I do like the adjustment that Tibbs made, and I'm sorry I'm all over the place. It's just coming to mind. Hopefully you guys are following. But I do like the adjustment that Tibbs made. We didn't follow it up with Indiana, but the game prior where Josh Hart was bringing the ball up instead of Brunson, because they're immediately crashing, collapsing on Brunson for defensive, and he pounds the ball out of the air too much. I think once we get the inbound pass, give it to Josh to try to run and see if we can break down the defense, and then have Cat and Brunson trailing. So by that time, he's either collapsed the defense, and then they have to recover and run back to Brunson or Cat instead of Brunson walking it up almost with Julius Randle style before, and the defense is already set, and now you got to try to move the ball, kill the clock, and try to get something going while the defense is already set. We have to focus when we have such less players to try to push the pace. Pace is going to be the thing that's going to help us out with the youth. Pace is going to be the biggest difference. Can they run? Salute to Deuce, who was sick, still played 29 minutes. That's why you saw he was a little off the last game against Indy. He still played great defense. His offense was a little off. He was still trying his best, but he was sick. So let's see if he's a little healthy today. Hopefully he's available. But if the young guys get in today, it's up to them to set a pace, to be confident and running. I mean, they need to be. Pace is going to be, I think, the thing that's going to give us the advantage. If we still have 6 players, 7 players, whatever the rotation is, if you have players that can help run, Josh needs to run, McCall needs to run. We need to break down those defenses early, get easy buckets, and then make our offense a little bit easier so we don't have to do so much work on the offensive end, running around, screens, cutting, slashing. If we let the defense get set, it's harder for us. We use a lot more energy, trying to run, slash, get into the paint, break down a double team. That's what's killing the energy overall. So by the time the fourth quarter comes, we're already gassed at that point. So I'm looking for pace today. I'm looking for right out the bat 30 plus points. Salute to the new Knicks. That's his call. 30 points or better. In the first quarter, get Cat going early, first, second quarter. Get Mikal Bridges second and third quarter. OG is usually on point no matter what in the first quarter. So if you get Cat and OG early, get Josh Hart running the tempo early. Bridges between second and third quarter, and then Brunson just keep assisting, and then light it up in the fourth quarter. Preserve your energy for offense. or defense early for you, and then offense later. Pick your spots, let the game come to you, and then we can get 2 W's back to back, and then still hold on. I think that's something that we can use as a key to learn until we get our other players. Once we get everybody else, yes, we're going to be another team. We're going to be closer to what the expectations for some of you guys were earlier. It's chip chasing, but the journey to the chip is what makes it enjoyable. The growth of the team is what makes it enjoyable. This gives you something to remember, because if we dominate from the beginning to the end, it's just like you won't remember. I like some of the struggles, so you can be like, yeah, I remember when we were struggling early in the year, and not to see where we're at now. Like we were last year when we got Dante was struggling early, Grimes was studying. You don't even talk about Grimes. You just remember the last part of the year when Dante was going off, when we were beating Philly shorthanded. It took those L's early for us to get to that team that we were looking at and celebrating and raving and gushing over last year, and then to now. So now you're probably not even going to remember this at the latter of the year when we're being great at that point, where we got Mitch, where we got Pressures, where we got Cam. If Shamit comes back, all those things are going to help us out later on, and you're not going to remember this. But enjoy the ride, enjoy the process, see growth, look beyond the L. Look beyond the L. All right? See if they learn something. It takes time, it takes growth. And before you start judging Tibbs and all that, because I hear you guys, I see you out there. Before you start judging Tibbs, what would you do with if you only got 8 players and you played 6, actually 7, because Cola got 2 minutes? What is the answer for you guys? That's what drives me crazy. You got all these complaints, but no resolution of what you would do. NBA 2K coaches, but nonetheless, let's root for our Knicks. Let's support them. Let's not lose our minds, man. Let's stop being fickle fans, bro. Hashtag fickle fans. Come on, let's go. Stand up. The jersey's heavy to wear. You know what I'm saying? New York. You got to have tough skin. And we're not looking like we tough skin fans. We're looking a little soft. You know what I'm saying? Little skin so soft. You guys rubbing on. You know what I'm saying? Strap up them Timberland boots, all right? We rock Tims out here. We ain't out there with the Asics, all right? Get your get your toughness up, man. Rep your burrow. What are you doing out here? Y'all crying. Anyway, salute to the Knicks. We rocking with you guys. There's some things I got to tighten up, but it's up to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, man, maybe Jalen Brunson's missing his baby. He got a young baby. Maybe he's exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart got little ones. You know what I'm saying? People got lives. They ain't just robots. So give them support. Support them out there. Salute to the Knicks. We rocking with you, the Organic Fanatics. You know what it is. Salute to these subscribers. We see you guys. They ain't no us without you guys. If you're viewing this, we appreciate you guys. All our 11 fans, all our 11 subscribers. I'm just kidding. There's more than that, but we appreciate every single one of you guys. Comment on the chat. If you watching this, if you made it this far, comment. Put something. Say you're something. Rep you. Put a flag where you from, what state, what country you from. I see some people in the Philippines. Como está cana? You know what I'm saying? Ni hao. Some of the people out there in China. Konnichiwa. All that. Que lo que? Hola. What's good? Rep sign. Put sign. Say give it a little holler. We chat all the time with everybody in the chat, whether it's live, replay, all the comments. Salute to y'all. Ain't no us without you guys, and all glory to the Most High Yahweh. Peace out. You're